My husband and his family disowned his mom after her affair. I didn't. Now the emotional consequences are taking a toll on my marriage. Need advice. I'm 28 male and I've been with my husband, 29 male, for 7 years, married for almost 1. This has been a genuinely good relationship. I love him deeply and we've built something I'm proud of. He fits in great with my family and I've always felt at home with his. I'm close to his younger brother and his girlfriend, but the person I've always felt the strongest connection with is his mom, 56 female. A few years back, I went through a rough depressive episode, and she was one of the only people who truly showed up for me. She didn't treat me like her son's partner. She treated me like family. I've always loved her for that. I'm close to my father-in-law too, but with my mother-in-law, it always felt like more of a friendship. Then everything flipped. Just after Christmas, my father-in-law sat us all down and told us that she had been having an affair, and that it wasn't the first time. He said he tried to make things work, but he couldn't do it anymore. He was heartbroken, and it shattered the whole family. My husband and his brothers were crushed. They all cut contact with her, and she moved out soon after. I get it. Cheating is a betrayal, especially after decades of marriage. I'm not trying to excuse what she did, but I also couldn't ignore the fact that during one of the worst times of my life, she showed me care and kindness when I felt like I had no one. That stayed with me. A few weeks ago, she reached out to me directly. She said she was running low on rent and didn't know who else to ask. She sounded anxious and desperate. I helped her. It wasn't a huge amount and she was incredibly grateful. She asked if I'd be willing to meet her for coffee. I said yes. When we met, she broke down. She told me she tried reaching out to her sons, but none of them responded. I listened. I didn't try to defend her or fix anything. I just tried to be there for her the way she once was for me. Later that evening, I told my husband about it. He completely lost it. He said I betrayed him and went behind his back, and he left the house. The next day, I tried to explain where I was coming from. I told him I wasn't trying to choose sides. I just reacted to someone I care about being in a tough spot. He didn't say much, just told me not to do it again. When his brothers found out, they were disappointed in me too. They said I crossed a line and should have respected their decision to cut contact. Now I feel stuck. I understand why they're upset. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just couldn't turn my back on someone who once didn't turn her back on me. I wasn't trying to undermine their pain. I was trying to act with compassion. I'm not here to justify what I did, and I understand why my husband feels hurt. I acted on instinct and compassion in a tough moment, but now I feel like I've damaged something really important. I'd really appreciate advice as to what to do further. How do I navigate this?
Am I the asshole for suing my neighbor after her kid destroyed my rare plant garden, claiming he was just playing with a cat? I, 29 female, have what some people might call an obsession, but I prefer passion project. Over the last 6 years, I've cultivated a garden of rare and exotic flowers in my backyard. We're not talking tulips and daisies. I mean orchids that bloom once every 3 years, cuttings that I've flown across the country to pick up in person, and carnivorous plants that need daily misting and controlled humidity. The garden also doubles as a small but lucrative side business, enough to match my husband, 32 male's full-time income in the last few months. Our backyard is fenced in, locked, and posted with multiple private property and no trespassing signs. No, you're not the asshole. Like, your backyard is locked and marked private property and that people should not be back there. No, whatever the fuck this lady's son went back there and did, she's 100% responsible for it. No, you're not the asshole. Enter my neighbor Lisa and her son Noah, 6 male. We've had minor issues with Noah before. He's trampled flowers in my front garden before, near the house and not the pavement. But Lisa just laughs it off. I kindly explained to her that while I understood that kids don't always know better, these plants can take years to grow. She gave me a half-hearted apology and promised to keep a better eye on him. Last weekend, my husband and I went out for a few hours to celebrate our anniversary. We came home to what looked like a miniature tornado had hit the corner of my backyard garden. Several of my rare orchids had been snapped at the stem. 2 pots were completely shattered. Noah, what the fuck were you doing? How big was the cat he was playing with in the backyard? Was it a fucking mountain lion? What the hell is going on? I stood there and cried, not just because of the damage, but because it felt violating, like someone had trampled a piece of my soul. Aw, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. Our security cameras showed Noah climbing the locked gate with a backpack on. chasing what looked like our neighbor's cat. He stomped through the beds like it was a jungle gym. At some point, the cat disappeared, but he stayed and caused more damage before wandering out again. When I confronted Lisa, she was weirdly casual about it. Her actual words were, quote, "He said he was just playing with the cat." I lost it. I told her this wasn't a playground and she was going to be hearing from my lawyer. You're absolutely not the asshole. You're not. I understand. One, he's 6 years old, so he may not have been able to read the no trespassing and, private property signs. But if mom had been supervising him like she was fucking supposed to, she would have fucking seen them. She would have seen the goddamn signs. No, sue this bitch. Sue her for every fucking thing that you can get. Because also, let's say he was just playing with the cat. OP stated that on the camera footage, the cat went away eventually, and the kid stayed and continued to fuck up her garden. That alone, his mother is responsible for all damages. Now I'm suing Lisa for damages, $8,900, which includes the loss of current plant inventory, repair costs to the irrigation system. He stepped on one of the buried hoses, and loss of business income for the next month while I try to salvage what I can. Lisa is furious. I bet she fucking is. I fucking bet she is, because you know what would have been a lot cheaper? Keeping her fucking eyes on her kid. It wouldn't cost her damn near 10 grand. Lisa's gone full drama mode to our neighborhood group chats, calling me vindictive and money hungry. She claims that boys will be boys. You know what happens when moms use that fucking defense, boys will be boys? Fucking serial killers. Serial rapists. Goddamn criminals. That's what the fuck we end up with when bitches want to use that shit. Boys will be boys. No, your son fucking went into somebody's private property and damaged it. You know what the fuck that is? Vandalism. You're literally raising a fucking criminal if you don't start holding yourself and him accountable. I get that he's fucking 6 years old, but now is the time to teach him you cannot do that. You cannot climb the fence and go into somebody's yard and fuck up their property. Lisa is furious. She's claiming that boys will be boys and I should have had a better lock, or maybe not put such expensive things outside if they're so fragile. Bitch, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. If it was so important to you, you shouldn't have put it outside in your private backyard with the gate, with the lock on it that said private property and that nobody was allowed to be back there. You shouldn't have did that if you didn't want nobody to go back there. Ma'am, grass, touch it right the fuck now. A few neighbors are siding with Lisa, saying that suing over some flowers is extreme. No. Because this is not just some flowers. This is your business. You spent years putting hard work into this business, and in a matter of minutes, somebody's child, because they could not be responsible and keep their eyes on their own fucking kid, destroyed that. No, this is not just some fucking flowers. This wasn't a hobby. This was literally part of your livelihood. Absolutely not. Fuck your neighbors. Their opinion doesn't fucking matter. Because this beef is not with them, so they can keep that shit to them fucking selves. If they want to share their opinion, they can talk to Lisa. Because out of everybody, she's the only motherfucker who gives a damn. I don't see it as extreme. This isn't just my hobby. It's part of my livelihood. It's years of hard work, patience, and honestly love. Some friends are telling me I should have just accepted her apology and moved on because he's just a kid. This was what made the situation more hurtful than it already was. So am I the asshole? Absolutely not. No, you're not the asshole. This woman's child climbed over a locked fence, went into your yard chasing a cat. The cat left. Lil Hoodlum, I don't give a fuck that he's 6, Lil Hoodlum stayed to continue to vandalize your property and then wander his little ass back over the gate. His mother is telling you that it's your fault for having your stuff in your locked gate with signs that say no trespassing because he's just a kid. You're not asking the 6-year-old to come up with 10 grand. You're telling his mother because he is in fact just a goddamn kid. So you are telling the adult that is responsible for him that they're responsible for all the damages that he caused. So her defense is he's just a boy. Duh. Yeah, bitch, that's why I'm coming to you and I'm not coming to him. So no, fuck that. Absolutely not, baby. Sue the fuck out of Lisa. Get everything that you can and fucking then some for pain and suffering. Lisa's so fucking busy trying to minimize the damn situation, she's not even realizing how dangerous it actually was. Because this time, Noah climbed a fence into a yard that had fucking plants. Next time, the yard could have an unfenced pool, and Noah could not be any fucking more. So while she's trying to pretend like, oh, it's just some flowers, it's not that big of a deal, you should have a better lock, as if that's gonna stop the gremlin from climbing the fucking gate, she needs to realize that she needs to teach her fucking son to not do these things simultaneously while learning herself that she needs to keep a fucking eye on her kid. Baby, OP, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Again, sue the fuck out this